Start this Friday with what is welcome news for a lot of people on this first day of summer. A break from this triple-digit heat is on the way. Highs about to drop below 100 degrees, and not just for a day or two. The new season kicks off the summer solstice with when the northern hemisphere is tilted closest to the sun. Do we remember this from class back in the day? Good evening, everyone. I'm Jim Snyder.
And I'm Latoya Silman. We like for folks to learn with us. The summer solstice also marks the longest day and shortest night in the northern hemisphere. And when the change in season comes a wave of precautions, of course, for all of us for another potentially record-breaking summer here.
All right, let's get to the good news, yeah?
Yeah, from Mount Charleston all the way up to right here in our valley, our team coverage bringing you everything that you need to know on the weather shift and also the impact that it can possibly have for all of us. Let's go ahead and kick things off with Chief Meteorologist Bill Bellis.
All right, guys, happy first day of summer here. Temperatures just about normal for this time of the year, but the big story is going to be the wind and that low relative humidity combination generating an elevated threat for wildfires. Let's talk about the current wind gusts right now. For the first time today, we're now getting wind gusts about 30 to 35 here across the valley. Wind gusts of Mesquite just clocked in at 40, just under 40 miles an hour in Mount Charleston. Pahrump and Red Rock, Sandy Valley and Death Valley about 30 to 35. So the wind's persistent combined with relative humidity. I mean, man, it is bone dry, 4%. And that's why the National Weather Service, and for great reason here, issuing the fire weather warning. And that means if a fire gets going, not that it could spread, it will spread rapidly for the combination of winds south to southwest 15 to 25 with gusts around 40 and that relative humidity about 10% or less. So winds remain high until about sunset. Might get a brief break overnight tonight as winds somewhat back off. Still going to have some breezes about 20 to 25 in the morning tomorrow, and looking at wind gusts tomorrow almost identical, if not slightly stronger in the spring mountains. So I think that's an excellent idea, turning the power off out there. The good news here on Sunday, temperatures get even cooler and the winds will back off just a little bit. So the weekend looks great. Look at these temperatures here, guys, real quick. 98 in Summerlin, 99 in Southern Highlands, only 104 in Lake Las Vegas. We will start tomorrow in the upper 70s to around 80 degrees. We're looking at about 90 to 95 by lunchtime. That is it. 96 for the high tomorrow, even cooler on Sunday. Wow. And we were talking about this yesterday, that we may not get temperatures back above 100 until next Wednesday, maybe as late as next Thursday. Look at Latoya's face. Look at the smiles. Like
no
this
rush,
big.
right?
No rush at all.
We'll wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be fantastic this weekend. Let's hope things stay safe up on the mountain.
Absolutely.
All right, Bill, thank you.
Well, several wildfires, big and small, in and around Nevada tonight. Here's a map showing 5 active wildfires in our state. The latest is the Connor fire, which broke out early this morning. It's already burned through more than 2,000 acres. And
while none of those fires are near southern Nevada, thankfully, of course, we are no stranger to those kinds of disastrous natural events. With fire seasons getting longer and hotter, officials are preparing to stop any wildfires quickly that could spark up.
Yeah, a red flag warning is in effect for southern Nevada. This is through the weekend as the area sees an elevated risk of fire danger. And News 3's Fidel Moreno Meza now live on the Mountain Forest this afternoon with why it's critical to pay attention to the warnings from officials.
Yeah, hey, good evening, guys. Well, you just heard Bill there mention that the National Weather Service right here in Las Vegas has issued that red flag warning, and he mentioned several reasons why, right? Because of these breezy to windy conditions, we're seeing the low humidity and the elevated temperature, meaning that if a fire were to ignite, it would spread rather rapidly.
The weather is really nice compared to Henderson. Beautiful, nice. Peaceful.
And while the mountain offers a break from the valley heat for many, it comes with its own risks.
When it's this hot and dry, we have to put these restrictions in place so it's safe for everybody.
For those driving up the mountain, Smokey the Bear welcomes you, reminding everyone the fire danger on the mountain is extreme. As you drive further, signs are hard to miss, reminding visitors that wood and charcoal fires are prohibited except in approved fire pits or grills in developed recreation sites. The U.S. Forest Service telling us that they've already dealt with some minor fires this season.
We had some lightning last week, and we had one fire down by Mountain Springs, another fire a little closer to Pahrump, and then we also had about a 60-acre fire that started on Bureau of Land Management and burned up onto the Forest Service over in an area called Mule Springs near Mountain Springs.
The Spring Mountains National Recreation Area is under Stage 1 fire restrictions until the end of September, meaning that the following activities are prohibited: smoking outside an enclosed vehicle or building, operating specific open flame devices, using explosives like fireworks, and wood cutting must be done before 1 in the afternoon. On the mountain Friday afternoon, NV Energy crews on a public safety outage management watch due to the elevated fire risk. Now back here live this afternoon, you can actually feel a little bit of that breeze and some of those stronger gusts that we have been seeing throughout the day up here on the mountain. Now, the fines, if you violate these fire restrictions, start at about $250 and can be as high as $5,000. Reporting on Mount Charleston, Fidel Moreno Mesa, News 3.
All right, some important information. Thank you so much, Fidel.
And as he was just talking about, the power is shut down on purpose up on Mount Charleston right now after an outage watch was issued for people who live up there yesterday. We told you about that last night. We spoke with Megan Delaney at NV Energy about how this move helps with wildfire prevention.
We do have a microgrid set up there. Imagine it like a really big generator. And so in most cases, we are able to hook that microgrid up, which keeps the majority of customers on Mount Charleston in power throughout these types of events. So as long as we're able to successfully connect that microgrid, then most of the customers up there actually won't experience an outage at all, which is a really nice thing we're able to tell our customers.
So they're making changes to this as it goes along, and of course conditions will dictate what happens, but the outage they figure will last around 1 o'clock in the afternoon on Sunday. You can catch that full interview with her on our website, news3lv.com.